gentlemen, my tech, it's time for game number 4. We go straight into the line of dawn as we will see these titans collide once more.
RSG Philippines and RRQ. RSG Philippines going to be on the red side here, while RRQ playing on the blue side. What do you think of these two compositions? We said it's going to be even down to the execution, but really for the side of RRQ, they have to be able to abuse some of these advantages in the late game on R7, for example.
Yeah, it feels like a very difficult situation for R7, but it feels like Nats versus R7. So far, Thamus has been able to win the 1v1s, but at the same time, when it comes to lane clear and lane cutting, Nats and the Esmeralda is going to have a little bit of upper edge in that regards. But now, my biggest question right now would be whether or not are we going to see aggressive plays from Iman. So far, all the games coming from him on the marksman has been very defensive. This time with the Beatrix, he has more utilities and more kills to work with, and hopefully that is going to be the case. But as of yet, Light looking to put his Skylar, he gets the cancel.
Skylar has to burn that flicker to come out. And this is lane advantages, right? RSGPH knows that Skylar is going to be weaker in the early part of the game and immediately just gank and try to make full use of this opportunity. RSG, they play around Iman as well. So helping Iman to scale is really, really going to help them.
It's going to be good for them, right? Because again, they know that the bottom side will mostly be R7 going at it. Albert, though, he's looking for some pressure in that mid lane, trying to just open up space for Clay to bully Aqua in lane, who is on the Sicilian, relatively weaker, but R7 needs to be careful. Demon Kite rotating to that bottom side, putting some pressure on, as Aqua will help to clear out the waves here to set up for the first turtle of the game. Demon Kite will have the better position as of right now, but RRQ do not want to give this away for free.
Yeah, they have to play this a little bit safe, but as of yet, there's just so much annoyance coming from RRQ. Albert has got the heavy spin, and I don't think Demon Kite wants to contest this. He is going to try and jeopardize with the Retribution fight, but it looks like he is going to get caught out a little bit more. Albert still holding on to the heavy spin, finally uses it, but no, he mistimed his Retribution, and that's going to be Demon Kite coming up on top.
Yeah, and now Nas in the backline manages to get Albert, but here is the real world manipulation to zone everyone out. They're trying to go for Demon Kite now, though R7 diving really deep, manages to pick up the kill here, and a second one onto Light as well. So they have this advantage in
R7?
their hands.
What?
R7, how is he doing this? Still putting on so much pressure onto Aqua.
I feel like RSG are kind of ignoring R7 in these team fights, right? Like, they were just too tunnel vision on Clay, on Albert. Sure, they got the kill, they got the turtle, but they need to be careful because if this continues, R7 can find a lot of these cheeky picks on this Thamus as Nats just goes in for a little bit more poke. Both of these XP lanes will reset as Nats has a little bit of an XP advantage here.
That was really, really disgusting of R7, right? He's level 4, he's got 2 stacks of the Festival of Blood, and look at the amount of sustains he's got throughout that fight. And because of that, he was able to utilize that sustains to actually punish RSGPH. So a little bit of mistakes has been made, but all in all, the turtle was still in the hands of RGPH. So it's not the end of the world yet. Economy-wise, it's still favoring RGPH as we know.
Absolutely. You know, objectives still, I believe, more important than kills here, as RRQ will look to try to equalize this, but they're going to have to move Skylar back and forth. Mid-gold, just try to funnel as much gold as possible because of that early gank that RG put onto that top side. He is kind of behind right now when you compare it to Iman. So he's going to be able to equalize that a little bit by roaming back and forth mid and top.
I think RSG is also trying to mirror that. You can see them rotating together as a team. And right now, in the middle lane mid, they get the Lime offended here, and it's going to be Iman falling down to the heavy spin. So much CC coming from the side of RRQ.
Yeah, very good read as well. As Finn, he was able to enable Albert to look for that heavy spin to pick that fight. Now, with the man advantage, they want to try to convert it over onto an objective. Demon Kite, though, he is right there. I think he has a better chaining ability with that Retribution here. Let's see, Sanguine Claws, pop, turtle, reset it, and Iman is back here again. RRQ will still try to take this turtle, but honestly, with Iman here, I feel like RSG has the better team fight. Let's see how it goes as both teams will try it right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get it here. The objective does still go to Demon Kaido, and immediately Elbow pulls the trigger onto the heavy spin, but he gets taken down in the backline. Clay gets fallen. Skylar has to flicker out as well. He didn't have the ultimate in time for this objective, but R7 now 1v3 gets taken down by Iman, pays the price for it, and RSG comes out on top.
That was a pretty sick play from Light right there. Instead of
Huge.
using the Tyrant's Revenge to actually cancel off the heavy spin, he opted to focus to go for the big Tyrant's Revenge. And because of that, it completely swung into his RSGP's favor. And with that play, they are able to transition even more map control for the top side. With 80 seconds in that next objective, RSGPH is just in so much comfort right now because of all this map control.
It's so huge, massive for RSG because again, this is their keys to victory. Getting that pressure in the early game, snowballing, and obviously using that death ball strategy, they're just able to control the map so well, convert on these little wins on the map, and they transition it over to just turrets, objectives here and there. Skylar up top looking for the play onto Nats. I don't think they're going to be able to melt him down right now, and they look for the trade. That's just not possible. They go up top looking for that turret. RSG pick up a turret down below, and it's not traded, not responded to by anything here, as Clay will most probably be forced out of this mid lane, but because of Finn popping that conceal, RSG decided to respect it. Discipline still matters here, only a 2,000 gold lead for RSG.
Oh my goodness, RRQ, they've got to be banging their head because on the top side, Naps looks like he was out of position, but considering how RSGPH was positioning himself in down mid, RRQ Hoshi opted to just back out and say, hey, you know what, we might lose a little bit too much if we focus on that, and because of that, Nats is able to consistently pressure the top lane, and this is not helping RRQ at all. Considering that 10 seconds left, the turtle is going to be up for grabs, and RRQ is looking for some sort of opportunity, and it's just so very difficult because RSGPH is just winning on all the lanings as of yet.
Yeah, but they are in a complete reset now as RQ Hoshi, their ultimates are up as well, so they are able to make the big plays if they wanted to. This is something that RSGPH knows, and that's why they're being really tentative around this turtle right now. R7 and Nas just battling it out in the mid lane here. R7 getting zoned out by Nas from all that damage. RSG gonna go ahead and start the turtle here. Vin forced to back row. Manipulation comes out, but Light goes in with the Tyrant's Rage and knocks Vin up. He's in trouble, doesn't get out. Aqua secures the kill, and now Light, RSG, they are on the hunt, trying to find more kills. Doesn't manage to, but look at Nas just abusing that, going all the way in, countering the shields, and it is going to be able to put him in a coffin.
Nats, oh my god, the calculation on that damage is unreal. Even with Albert to help R7, he still went for it knowing that the heavy spin was ready, and that's where Nats just pops off. These crazy dives. RRQ did a good trade. They were able to take the turtle, but again, RSG Philippines capitalized on that by taking kills.
I want to take a moment to tell you that RSGPH, it was just very, very smart of Demon Kite to hold on the enhanced chain to cancel off the heavy speed, because that was a big turning point coming from him. If he did not cancel off the heavy spin, things would have been disastrous for RSGPH. So props towards Demon Kite for that play over the previous fight. But as of yet, they are going to continue the lead to try and snowball even more map control away from RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, players go right now. We can see the two carries just top of the charts. I think it was Skylar for a second there before Iman got on top. And you can see they're just battling it out to be able to scale faster than the others. Skylar picked up the golden staff, but Iman, you saw that Renner shot, took out half his HP in just one hit. So RQ Hoshi needs to be careful about their positioning here as they look around the objective or taking fights.
Looking at the compositions for both of the teams now, we need to talk about that damage dealt, right? Because, look, Albert, Skylar, and, Albert, Skylar, and Clay, actually. Skylar and Clay, these are the two main damage dealers from RRQ. Skylar is so low down below, you know, he's almost dealing as much damage as just Finn, and that's not good. Sure, he needs to scale, sure, he needs to wait for the items, but at what point do you need him to start just going and pop off with the Blazing Duet? Because right now, RSG Philippines, they're not going to stop. 3,000 gold lead, and it keeps on building. R7, oh my goodness, almost just gets bursted down there by Iman and Aqua.
That was such a scary moment, but seems like RRQ, they have to force the issue as well. RSGPH, they know that R7 is out of the equation. This is the perfect time to force an issue, and it seems like that's going to be the case. Nats, as of yet, going to be focused down, and the only one that can stop him is pretty much Albert on the heavy spin, but he's still holding on for the moment as of yet.
Yeah, it's going to be Albert jumping in with a heavy spin now, locking Nats in place. The real world inflation is there as well. They're looking for the flip. Demon Kite and Light there in the bush, looking for the engage once again. Albert still there, going to be able to come in, but Demon Kite with the red Retribution secures it. R7 jumping to the back line, dealing so much, taking Demon Kite out, and Light falls as well. RSG, they take the Lord, but they lose 3.
Oh my goodness, that was perfect timing coming from RR Kyoshi. The only one that can stop Nats from going out of control with building those shields was pretty much the heavy speed. And in the midst of that confusion, RGPH was focusing in the Lord. They took the advantage, shut down Nats, and then transitioned for more. And that was a good opportunity coming from RR Kyoshi. However, the Lord still in the favor of RGPH. That means the score, the economy-wise, is now equalized because of that small fight against RR Kyoshi.
Yeah, RGPH, they cannot afford to tunnel vision here. Sure, they want to take the objectives, but you cannot risk 3 members losing their life at this point. We're going to take a look at the items here.
Yeah, the Ice Queen won. This is what we mentioned in game number 2 when RRQ were able to just control the tempo of the game, again, with the utility. And this is what's starting to come out again from this Yi, from Clay, the utility build. Now, Eman might find himself in trouble. Nat's going in. Skylar juking it out, looking for the outplay here as he just goes in for one more basic attack. He goes in onto the next minion. He really doesn't care about Nats here. He's ignoring him, just going for the farm, but they're going on a 1v1 here. Skylar versus Nats, still forced to run away. Nats looking for something as that top side turret will fall. RRQ, again, still on the back foot, still with the defense. RSG with the proactive movements on the map.
Smart plays coming from Nats as well, realizing that the comeback coming from RQ Shoji is going to be up to Skylar. He's trying his best to get some sort of farm, and because of that, they are going to be placed in a very defensive maneuver. However, I want to talk a little bit more in this next play, because RSGPH, they are building up Ice Queen's 1-up on Aqua to deal with all the defensive, the mobility coming from RQ Hoshi, which is very much lacking. In this case, R7 is going to be the biggest kiting that requires to be done coming from RQPH.
Yeah, and R7, I mean Thamas with the Molten Size as well, forces RSG to be put out of position or at least to reposition themselves. So RSG also has to watch for how they take these fights. Earlier on, I think we saw Demon Kite was also building into a more tanky build here. So they're trying to cover for Aqua and Iman. They're going to be the key damage dealers in these fights.
And Iman as well. You just saw that on your screen. Wind of Nature already completed for Iman here on the Beatrix. So it just removes the threat of Skylar popping him in that back line, right? And with this Wesker, he can actually threaten Skylar now that he has the Wind of Nature. Both of these players in the gold lane will need to time that Wind of Nature properly to outplay one another. And with the same battle spell, it's going to be really interesting to see this dynamic.
Yeah, it's going to be tough as well, but now with the Enhanced Lord up as of yet, RGPH already in position to fight this, but RKOshi, they've got to wait an opportunity, because if you think about it, R7 is 2 levels behind Nats, and he needs to be in this fight to scare off the back lines, and without him in the equation, I don't think RKOshi would force a fight, unless Albert gets a 4-man heavy speed, which is very difficult to do so.
I mean, this is dangerous, right? RQ Oshi cannot afford to make a mistake, but we're gonna see Nats make it back to the team fight here. He has pushed his minion wave up top all the way almost to the inhibitors, and R7 getting punished by him. So now RQ Hoshi, they are at a numbers disadvantage. This could be RSG's chance to start making the play.
This is the thing, right? With R7, he plays for the team a lot. In the early stage, he actually gives out a lot of the farm for the participation in the team fights. He walks up to the turtle. He just joins his team, leaving his lane behind. And this is why Nats has actually gotten the gold lead and the XP lead as well. And this now is playing a huge role for RSG of getting control of the side lane and controlling the macro plays on the map. Setup is just going to be better for RSG because of Esmeralda winning on that lane. And they can actually look for picks as well. You can see Iman already trying to look for that, roaming up top. If they look for a pick and get it right before this Lord, perfect timing to just go for it.
Agreed, but the Radiant Armor being purchased coming in from Light is going to deal with the Yi being the sole only member coming from RKOshi in terms of magic powers. But seems like RKOshi, they want to force the issue, but RSG is not taking any risks yet. They want to go for pickoffs, and currently RKOshi just playing it very safe. However, Clay does have the Durance. That means that is going to be a little bit more sustained focus on dealing with Nats instead. But another Radiant Armor of Demon Kai, Yiv is not going to have a good time in this next upcoming fight.
I mean, RQ Hoshi a bit on the back foot here, right? R7 already being pressured all the time, so RSG are able to take more control of this Matt Skylar, though, in the mid lane, trying to contest into Nasty. I don't think this is a trade he should be taking, and he chooses to back out RSG. Chunk the Lord to half health now. Lion in the mid lane and managed to pop off Finn immediately, and this is goal time. RSG, Albert comes in with a heavy spin to zone out Demon Kite, but why do you need the tank there? It only helps RSG, and now the two-man knockout onto RRQ as well. RRQ, they take too much damage. They have to disengage RSG light.
That was huge from Demon Kite. That enhanced chain cancels out the real world manipulation, cancels out the re-engage potential from RRQ. And now Nats jumping in for the falling star moon, zoning Skylar away. Iman! He's going for something, doesn't get Skylar yet. Real world manipulation. Iman's gonna get caught. R7 is there to finish him off. Albert looking to play. Light gonna be caught low. Immortality pop. It's gonna be R7 looking for more. Now it's gonna be Albert pinning Light down. Nats on the backside finds Clay. Light's gonna fall, and Albert will still have a lot of HP. R7 to the back lines onto Demon Kite. Skylar getting his stacks. It is going to be still RRQ winning out of the fight. Look at R7. He's jumping on the Demon Kite. 1 for 2 right now. It's all about Skylar. He goes in with the blazing duet, picks it up. 4-4-2 for RRQ.
Skylar, what in the world? He was waiting so patiently for the opportunity. He saw the window, immediately went all the way in, and now RRQ can get this Lord completely for free. There is nothing that Nas can do. Albert secures it together with the kill onto Nas.
Oh my goodness! What a bait coming from RRQ Hoshi. Skylar finding all these opportunities out of nowhere. The communication, and R7 feels bad to you, but you took the bullet for the team. But let's take a look at the instant replay on how it all went down. Look at how positioned R7 is. He was baiting them all the way to force survive, and as soon as they come in the recontest, Finn and Skylar just completely swarmed them and took them out of the equation. That was a great execution coming from RRQ.
My goodness, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is the play of the game.
Again, map pressure all turned around, the tides as well. It was all against RRQ. RSG controlling the tempo, but now it looks like RRQ, they're going to look for the play, for the end here with the Enhanced Lord marching down the bottom side. R7 trying to siege it down. The sniper comes in.
Yep, they've already gotten the bottom inhibitor turret here. RRQ Hoshi, they're starting to siege it in. R7 taking a lot of damage. Demon Kai goes in.
Let's see Albert onto the turret. Mid lane taken down. They're going to go for more. That's going to be Iman popping his ultimate. Albert looking for the pinch onto Nats. Will be able to maneuver out of there. And the enhanced chain comes in. But RSG, they defend extremely well here. Skylar moves back, and RRQ do not want to force it. They have the lead. They have the tempo. Chill out. And now it's time to reset again.
Oh my goodness, this is so nerve-wracking coming from both teams here. One mistake can cost you the fight, and it all started with Iman getting caught out, trying to get a little bit greedy, and because of that, RRQ was able to find this opportunity, but still very difficult to do so. But before that, looks like the skirmish is about to happen. RSG going to be forcing with the purple buff as of yet, but looks like it is not going to be in the hands of RSG PH. But Demon Kai looking for the setups. Seems like it's not going to happen yet. And no, Vin playing it safe, playing it safe.
I don't think Light's the right target, right? Yeah, it's a little bit hyped now for both teams. The heart's beating, and this is where we can start to see maybe perhaps mistakes coming in, right? Because when it gets messy, when this is the situation of the game currently where no one is having, well, technically, RRQ have a 4,000 gold lead, but in my opinion, we've gone to that late game moment, late game stage, when everyone has all items, so the gold lead really doesn't matter anymore. It's all going to come down to how both teams execute, how they're going to shot call, and that decision making is going to be key here, as we are going to take a look at the items first.
Yep, and as of yet, you can see that the Ice Queen one just got purchased by Nats, and he's going to do a little bit more utilitarian. We've talked about this before, but I feel like in RQ Hoshi's case, they don't really care about the mobility. All they're looking for is isolation pickoff. It all comes down to whether or not Win gets that big I'm Offender hook to set up with the heavy spin to actually burst them down. So I feel like it's going to be a different contrast compared to games before. But now RGPH, all they gotta do is just play it slow. Do not get hooked, and they are gonna be good. However, you can see they're making sure that Vin doesn't get super crazy, making sure that he doesn't get super cheeky about his next play.
Yeah, RSG trying to look for an opportunity here to contest a lot as well, but RRQ being very careful about this, not to overcommit. So right now, the tension is just in the air. You know, any mistake right now, Miracle, you said, could make the play, but potentially now Vin getting knocked out, Nas having to back away. RSG on the back foot a little here, and the Lord is at half HP. In the back line, Nas in some trouble. I don't know, both teams, they're so tentative about this. R7 backs out, Light trying to make a play, but has to back away.
Yeah, RRQ now on to the Lord. Vin going in for the damage. Sanguine Claws as well. Real world inflation there to knock everyone back. Albert with the retribution doesn't get it. Demon Kite with the hero play. But Skylar comes into play as well. He goes in for the Blazing Duet. Full channeling it. That's the Evolved Lord taken down. RSG needs to back up. Nats gets caught. Skylar is mega right now as he picks it up. Clay taking a half HP. Real world manipulation to lock them down.
No.
Vin with I'm offended.
Oh no, they got
him back.
Iman.
Let's see Iman. He has nowhere to go.
Aqua, though, with the Bat's Feast, manages to fend them off for the moment. Albert gets taken down by the Bat Impact as well. RRQ Hoshi, they are 3 men still low on HP, but they want to take this Lord down. Demon Kite with that clutch steal over there on the Lord forces RRQ Hoshi to still wait out the end of this game.
Demon Kite.
This is the timing that RSGPH has been waiting for. The Cecilion being the playmaker in the later stage of the game. If you lose Iman, it's all good. We've got a Cecilion that slaps so hard it sends you to the other galaxy. And in this case, as of yet, with the hard score coming from Iman as well as Demon Kite, it's just looking so good. But in case you miss out on the action, this is going to be the instant replay presented by TikTok, and you can see the positioning of the heavy speed to try and stop them all. But despite getting chased down by Demon Kite, he was able to time the retribution. I feel like it was so chaotic, but he kept his cool, make sure to get the Lord in case things don't go in the favor of RGPH. So it was a 50-50 coin flip between both these teams.
Demon Kite literally saved the game there for RSG Philippines, right? It should have been over now if he didn't get that retribution. So it's all coming down to these little thin margins in this game. We're taking a look once again at the items. Not much has changed so far, but look at Light. His itemization, he's been swapping with Immortality constantly now because when it's down, he wants to pick up something else. Now, something I want to mention is that look at Aqua. He has the Winner's Truncheon and he hasn't popped it just yet. In these team fights, he's been relatively safe, and that might be the X factor here that they can use to win the game. When RRQ tunnel vision onto Aqua, when that Winner's Truncheon pops, is where Iman comes into play and goes at it.
This has been insane so far. You know, the whole game, it's just been flipping time and again. One moment you think RRQ has the lead, RSG takes over. And when RSG gains control, RRQ comes back. This is the mark of 2 high-level disciplined teams right now. And as we are here 22 minutes into the game, the 2 teams are waiting for this next objective. Who will be the one to take this will definitely have an edge and be that much closer to closing out the game.
Ooh-wee, look at the damage coming from Skylar with max stacks. Light could not even stand a chance at all. And RGPH, they've been focusing on shutting down Clay's magic prowess, but eventually gave so much room for Skylar to dish out damage. And maybe, just maybe, RGPH may consider to rethink their itemization later on. But it's a little bit too tough right now because it's 23 minutes into the game. The next lot comes in, and currently Nats, he does have the rock potion. He needs to open up the map and set up for those big 3-man Tyrant's Rage up on Light, and that's going to be very, very difficult to do so. But as you get, Nats trying to be the distraction on the sides, but hasn't been a big threat yet. And RRQ Hoshi, they realize that Nats is just baiting them for this kind of fights. But Vin on the sides
gets knocked up here. He's in trouble. Bat's Feast being popped, takes a lot of damage, but in the backline, Skylar gets it, but the damage dealer is down, and now Aqua forced the back as well. He's extremely low. Skylar traded out Aqua. He is online. He's dishing out the damage. He takes 2, and now Nas is in trouble. RSG, they're fighting back here, trading out between the 2 teams. Nas goes down as well. RRQ still in the game.
2-for-1 play there. RRQ coming out on top, but losing Skylar in the process. It's both the gold laners taken down though, so currently RRQ does have that pressure. Yeep, look at Clay, he's so low. Aqua, I feel like he's going to be able to do so much in this fight compared to Yeep, but we're going to have to see how Finn struggles, or Finn, how does he go at it here against Demon Kite? Albert jumping in, trying to look for the play first because they do not want to go for another 50-50. That's Finn, definitely I'm offended onto Aqua, he's going to be taken low, taken down, shut down for R7. They look for more. Light jumping in to save the day. He has the immortality, and just like that, RRQ, they pick up a Lord here that might just be not contested at all.
Oh, mistakes has been made. Great catch coming in from Albert to shut down Aqua. 50 seconds on the sidelines, and RGBH, they have to give away control because the minions were pushing in. And because of this, RRQ, look at this, they've got all the immortalities. This is prime position for RRQ to take the ticket, and just like that, they take the Lord, and it's going to be up to RSG to defend against this.
This looks like it could be it. This looks like the game-ending play here. RRQ, Lord in the back, kills in the back. They are ready to make the siege. All they have to do is sync up the waves, make sure that everything is in place for them to make one last stand here. RSG is up to them to defend.
Evolved Lord marching down here is RRQ. Look for it. Skylar with now the conceal being popped by Finn. They're looking for more. Nat's going to get pinned down there. That's going to be the damage coming through. Light looking for the flags. It is not going to be able to connect. That's going to be the Guambo combo once again. Skylar with the blazing duet will wipe them off. Light jumping in again, but that's the battle mirror image. They're looking for the base. Look at this. RRQ. Light trying to defend from the ashes of a crumbling empire.